let me just connect into your energy quickly. Okay, so please connect me into Belle's energy. She's a Leo, Sun, Scorpio rising. Also create a temporary energetic cord between myself, Hamish, Amber, Belle, anyone else that needs to come through in the reading. Allow me access to the auric fields, allow me access to everything I need for the reading. Showing all chances, changes, possibilities, probabilities, anything that needs to come through so that I can answer these questions clearly and give insights. And putting the intention as well that Belle gets her own clarity and insights coming through during this reading and in the days following this reading. And please close down the auric fields and sever all temporary energetic cords at the end of the reading, leaving everyone's energy intact and everyone's auric field strong, and surrounding everyone in a field of light and love at the end and the close of this reading, and healing energies for everyone involved. I am getting a lovely healing energy when I connect into you. I know you said you want to do more with sound healing. I also felt called, which I don't always do, but I'm going to do this as basically like a kind of long reading. So we'll do like 20 minutes on love. Let me just look at the clock. Okay, 20 minutes on love and 25-minute reading for shadow issues. But I felt like that was the best, first of all, to do the love questions and then focus on the shadow in case anything kind of comes through like that. I also felt called to put this candle on, which I use for like unblocking pathways. I don't know why. I just felt like you could have a few blocks at the moment to do with like prosperity, health, love, healing, all of these things. So I put this candle on for you, and at the end I will actually say the prayer that's on the back of it for you, because I don't know, I just felt called to do that. Right. Also, I wanted to say to you, and I'm sure you know about crystals, but before I do readings, I have lots of different crystals, and I'll sort of like pick ones that I feel are right for the reading. And I was really attracted to my black tourmaline. So you might want to get some black tourmaline or some onyx or even some black moonstone. I just feel like you might want to have some like protective crystals around you. And I don't know, I also have lots of different herbs, right? And especially before I do readings on my channel, my YouTube channel, which by the way, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I do lots of free readings and free kind of manifestation stuff. But I drink a lot of different herbs on my channel, and I'm always like, what's the thing I'm drawn to? But today I was really drawn to drinking yarrow root. I don't know if you know, I know that you do some kind of healing stuff. That's why I'm sort of saying some of these things to you. But I don't know if you know about yarrow root, but it's very good for like depression, and lots of different things. But maybe look into it, because I was very called to drink it for you. So there could be something there with just like, it might just lift your mood a little bit, or it might be a message that nourishing yourself and thinking about nutrients, and just, is there anything you're missing at the moment? So now I want to look at your love, sort of what's going on with you in love. So your partner is called Hamish, and you have a daughter, Amber, and his sister has cancer, so that's putting strains on the relationship. But let's just see what comes through first of all about what you need to know. What does Belle need to know, or what do I need to know about this connection with Hamish? Okay, what do we need to know about the connection with Hamish? Connection with Hamish. He is the father of your daughter, right? I'm assuming, yes. Well, it's very good. Hang on. Connection with Hamish. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Okay. I was like, where's the problem here? But I do see that there is, obviously you said you're having issues. And back of the deck, we do have the Five of Swords. So that is the card of arguments and conflict. Yeah. this person is actually carrying the Three of Swords, and this is not something I always notice or say about the cards, so I feel like it's significant. I don't know if you know tarot, but I'll sort of briefly explain. This person is holding these three swords, and they've left behind two swords. The Three of Swords in tarot is the card of heartbreak, and so it's almost like this person is causing this heartbreak and carrying it with them, and what they're leaving behind are the Two of Swords, which in tarot is the card of the other person having to then make a decision because this person has hurt them. So I feel like this masculine energy, Hamish, has caused you some heartbreak somehow, to do with some kind of conflicts. Maybe there was a third party involved. This doesn't necessarily have to be him having an affair or another person. I don't feel that at all. In this context, I feel like this is more like this external pressure is the third party. It's just a third element in your relationship, right? And we don't have the Three of Cups, but the Three of Swords, but the Three of Swords are in his hands. So I feel like, and I never say this normally, but that's the message. It's like, it's this external factor that is causing the conflict with you guys, and you're then left to make a decision like, well, what do I do about this? I mean, that's what you've already told me, but it's always good to see it like in the cards as well. I see that you're feeling quite like worried by this. The swords are all about thoughts and information, and in this card, this person is really bound by their anxieties. They're really, they feel trapped. It's like your thoughts are not being your friends. I talk a lot about like law of attraction and manifestation and turning your thoughts into like these positive things. I really believe that we have the answers within us. I believe that we all can access psychic abilities. We all can access healing abilities. You definitely are someone who can do that. But it's like you've got these limiting beliefs at the moment, or you've just become trapped in like negative thinking about this connection, and it's like you're not seeing clearly. She's blindfolded and she's trapped. But the Eight of Swords is a good card because, well, it's not a great card, but it's good because she's not really trapped. She can actually free herself. She has the means of cutting herself free. So this is like a message to you to kind of free yourself from any limiting beliefs or negative thoughts. Do subscribe to my channel because I have a free, it's called the Pink Light Manifestation Meditation. It does some light shadow work, and then it goes into a very general manifestation for like abundance and love and all of these things, right? Because I like to always manifest everything. A whole life should be complete in all aspects. But it might just help as a starting point for maybe like a meditation you can do to start to get rid of these limiting beliefs. Maybe it's like some fear of not being good enough or not being able to help. A feeling of not, what's the word? When you feel like you can't, not inadequacy, but it's like you can't help. I can't remember what the word for that is, but this feeling of not being able to do something, but you do have the power to do this. What you need to know about your relationship though is that you guys have invested in it and it's worth investing in, and there it is more investment to come. So the Seven of Pentacles is the card of like really putting time and effort and energy into something, and then the fruits of your fruits of your labor bearing fruit, things coming into fruition, things growing, creating a nest egg. So this is something that you both have invested in and will continue to invest in and want to invest in. And with the Sun card here, this is happiness. And this card also has a child. So there's this great happiness here. There's a child, there's love, there's positivity, there's a feeling of healing and being in the sun and the sunlight kind of coming out after this kind of darkness. I feel like there's this joy, there's this real joy. And you are a Leo, and he is a Sagittarius. So you're both fire signs, and this is Leo energy, this is your energy. So there's a great happiness here, there's a great abundance here, and there's a great sort of potential for future and for things manifesting. The Magician card is here, so this is all about manifestation. This is about creating what you want, creating the world that you want for yourself, having everything at your hands that you need in order to create the thing you want, and just having to balance and blend and adjust things to get things in the perfect balance. It's like sort of making a cake or something. You have all the ingredients in the cupboard, you just have to go to them and put them together. So you do have everything. It's kind of like a message for you not to worry. You're very worried, you're very anxious, you feel a little trapped, you feel helpless. That's the word I was looking for. Helpless, of not being able to help, right? So you feel helpless, but you're not. You can actually do a lot to help in this situation, but also you don't have to put all of this on yourself. Try to go back to like just having fun like it was in the beginning, like this joy, this kind of, even like the inner child, right? You have a child, but this is also maybe going to bring up inner child stuff for you both. Let me get more cards to clarify stuff or just see more messages. So we have the Page of Swords. That's quite a lot of cards, but let me just have a look. You have the Six of Wands, success. What else was right on the top? Because I don't want to take all of these. The Knight of Wands, rods, same thing. So that's more fire energy. So you have success here. You have also new passion coming in. A lot of sexual energy here. The Knight of Rods is this masculine energy, fire sign energy, who kind of, he can come in and out, so he can be like hot and cold in a way, but it's passionate. And with the Six of Rods or Wands, you know, there's this celebration and this idea of success. So I see success, I see passion, I see happiness. What have we got? Oh, look. I knew that the Three of Swords was meant to be in this reading. It's so funny, isn't it? Because I was saying it about this. It's like you always know, it's when you do a tarot card, it's sometimes about the card that isn't there but that's meant to be there. So has there been some kind of heartbreak here between you guys? This would be something that you know about already. I wouldn't be saying something to you that you don't know. If there hasn't been any kind of betrayal, this is just about this other element of this family stress. If there has been like a third party or some heartbreak to do with someone else, you already know it. I'm not saying stuff to you that you don't know or that you don't have like intuition of, because you are an intuitive person and you know this information. It's more like that it's this whatever the message basically is though, it's like everything between you guys is really, really great and good and happy, but then there's this external thing that's causing the problem, which is what you've said to me, right? Like this pressure. But it's interesting because this card just kind of came out just right at the end when I was saying, but it's also great. And then I was about to say there's new information that comes in, because the Page of Swords is the card of like someone who does a lot of research, it can be the card of like internet research, like looking on someone's social media or whatever it is. It's just this idea of someone who's researching a lot or trying to find answers, and then suddenly this information coming in. So it could be like, I don't know, a family member giving information or saying something, or that you discovered something, or that you guys are looking into each other a lot or something. There's something here to do with like not spying, but intense kind of like looking for answers, right, about something to do with this external element that's causing this heartbreak. But as I said, it's not something that you don't know. It's not, I don't feel, but it's very interesting that I felt the Three of Swords, and then the Three of Swords did come up, so you know I have to say that. And look, back of the deck, and this was almost the card that I thought was missing from the Eight of Swords, is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords usually shows these 9 swords above a woman's head, and she's trying to sleep, and these swords are like about to fall on her, and she's like, are they going to fall on me? The anxiety, the anticipation, sleepless nights, almost like the sword of Damocles, like about to fall on your head. And it's actually, I find that the 10 of Swords is more of a release, because the 10 of Swords, it's like, and then they fall, and then you know. It's like the not knowing and the wondering and the worrying is the thing that causes you the most distress. There's something that you're driving yourself mad about, and you're not sure, and you're trying to work it out, and it's just this anxiety, and you don't know quite what you're dealing with, and you know, that whole energy of these sleepless nights and this anxiety. So that's definitely what's going on. Let's look at like what your advice is in this situation though, because I do see great happiness. It's just that there's this external stuff, right? So let's see if there's some kind of advice about that? Sorry, I'm just seeing that my computer's saying it's quite full, so maybe I'll pause this video and then like save this video before doing your next one, so do it as two. Okay, what's your advice about this love situation? The Star, that's lovely. Have hope. Judgment, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Wands. So there is a decision here that is going to be made, and there is something that gets walked away from. Eight of Cups is the card of like letting go of something. It doesn't necessarily mean you walk away from this person. It could be that there's something in the past pain I'm feeling that needs to be let go. There's something that needs to be left in the past. You know, the Eight of Cups shows traditionally a man on a journey. Well, the tarot is a journey, right? It's the Fool's journey. It shows this person and they're walking away from these 8 cups that they still have emotionally invested feelings in, but these 8 cups are no longer emotionally satisfying them. There's something missing, and what the person walks towards is their 9 of cups, their wishes, their dreams, their desires, their hopes, their happiness. And it's interesting because the kind of, for me, the major arcana version of the 9 of cups, which is the minor arcana card, is because there's like the suits, right? There's like the 4 suits, and then there's like the kind of trump cards almost, and this is the kind of trump card for me of the 9 of cups, which is the Star card, which is like this longing, these hopes, these dreams, these desires. It could be almost like dreams you had for yourself as a child, like what lit you up, what excited you, what did you feel like love could be. It's like there's a kind of loss here of some kind of dream-like aspect of what you wanted it to be. And there's a need to let go of something in order to have this. But I see with the Judgment card, it's not like the ending of this connection. It's like it has to start again. But before it can start again, it almost has to like not totally end, but there has to be an end to how it is currently, or there has to be something left behind, or there is some kind of loss involved. But then there's this rebirth. And it's something to do with making a choice. Because the Two of Wands is always about this idea of making a choice or thinking to the future. Really, it's this card of real like thinking about your future, thinking about what you want, surveying the land, looking at a distance from things, and really making some kind of like informed decision on what makes you happy, what you want, what you expect, what you hope for, what you dream about. There's something here of you of like, is there more? I'm getting this feeling from you, like, is there more somehow? And you know, is this just to do with this external stuff? I don't know. Are you guys talking and communicating properly? Because obviously you're in contact because they're your partner, right? But this is like the card of blocked communication. So obviously you haven't blocked each other, I'm guessing. If I was doing like a love reading for someone who's not in communication with their person and this came out, I'd be like, yeah, you guys aren't in contact, or you guys have blocked each other. For you, it could just mean that your communication is not kind of not high vibration, but it's not like, you're just not able to speak to each other properly, perhaps at the moment, about these really important things, perhaps about your fears about loss, perhaps about your fears about the loss of the dreams you had for this connection, or that there could be something missing. And maybe you're both having these like not doubts, but these very natural, after a certain amount of time, kind of feelings in a relationship, right? There's some anxiety. Perhaps you do have anxiety about whether something has happened with someone. That's only if you know it. If not, there's just a huge amount of pressure and anxiety about like this external situation with someone being unwell, this idea of loss, this idea of like, is this what we wanted it? Is this what we expected it to be? Is something missing? You guys need to talk about that, because I feel like you're both having those things, and like not talking about it is what's making it stressful. And it's almost like, but can we talk about it? Because there's all this other stuff going on. So interesting always with tarot. So you get the Two of Wands, which is the card I was talking about, like looking out to sea, surveying, thinking about if there's more. And then you get the Three of Wands, which is the kind of development of that feeling of like actually strategizing and making plans for the future and working it out. And it is this idea though of being at an emotional distance from someone, but kind of then deciding to make, I feel in this instance, then deciding to kind of make a move to come together, to come closer, or you're both, I think, feeling like, is there something out there, or like, you know, there's just this feeling, and I feel like it needs to be communicated about. I want to just get some last advice cards for you, and like oracle advice as well. So let me just see with a different deck. I love this deck. Don't usually use it, but I'm gonna use it. Is there any other advice for Belle about this connection with Hamish? Advice for Belle about this connection. I want to take this because it flipped over. The cards come out really funnily with you. It's always interesting. You do again have the, by the way, the Knight in this card. It's called the Prince. The Knight of Wands again. So this is this masculine fire sign energy rushing forwards with passion. So if there's been a bit of a lack of passion or something, I see that changing. I was going to say it's interesting that we don't have many children cards because I know you have a child, but then the Six of Cups comes out. So that's really nice. This is the card of children. This is the card of a kind of almost innocent childhood love, of thinking back to what you wanted as well when you were younger, and this sense of nostalgia. So I feel like you guys are going to have this kind of reignition of passion. You're going to have this kind of feeling of like, oh, what did we first like about each other? Going back to that kind of innocence. Perhaps there might be more children as well, but there is the child. So I was like, where's your daughter in all of this? But that's there. At the moment, he might be being a bit in the King of Swords energy, which can be a bit cold and cutting and distant. But just know that I think that's a kind of defense thing because he's not quite sure how to communicate. But the good thing is that the King of Swords is, you know, it's a communicator, but he can just be a bit cutting. So I'm just looking here if there's anything. Yeah, I think things are going to change. Things are going to turn. Wheel of Fortune. I don't have time to do all of the cards, but I'm just seeing like things up in the air, needing to make a balance. There's a bit of defensiveness going on. There's definitely stuff you need to balance. I think you guys need to communicate better. Something is suddenly going to shift and change with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. It could feel like it's not a positive thing, but I think it will then force... It's almost like the minor arcana thing of... Oh, no, it's not. It's major arcana, but it's about kind of the feeling of the Tower card I'm getting from it, of like... It's an unwelcome maybe shift or change, and like any kind of cracks in the foundation will be highlighted, but the Tower may still stand after this, but it's going to be this testing thing that brings out the weaknesses. I guess that's what you guys are going through at the moment, right? It may feel like it's very unfair and unlucky, but it's going to enable you to talk about stuff which I feel like you needed to talk about anyway. Back of the deck, we do have the Three of Cups as well, which is again this third party energy, but I feel like that's probably this situation unless you know it's something else, but it's a kind of happier version than the Three of Swords, because this is like, can also be the card of like friendship. Perhaps you guys are going to have like a kind of renaissance of your relationship where you remember all of the original things you liked, where you can be friends to each other again, where the passion comes back, where the communication is balanced, and there's this kind of nostalgic element. But I do feel like there's something that gets kind of has to be left in the past or walked away from in order for this to kind of balance itself out. It might be that you're thinking of someone from your past. That could be the third party thing. Is that the thing that needs to be left behind? I mean, I don't know. But there's something here that's left behind, but it's for the greater good. And there's something here that needs to be communicated. And I do see things getting better, and I do see a release of this heavy energy, but there is some sadness with the Eight of Cups, you know. Can't sidestep these energies, but it makes sense for what's going on with you. Let's see if there's anything further for Belle and Hamish for this love reading before I move on to the shadow reading. Belle and Hamish. break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. That makes sense with all the family stuff, right? It's like, don't let this get in the way of your connection, but also perhaps do some past life regression stuff. Break any kind of ancestral patterns to do with fears, to do with love that you might have, you know, this inner child stuff that I sensed coming up. And this is super interesting. I knew this was here. Share your voice, persecution, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. You guys need to communicate. You feel trapped. You feel like you can't express yourself. You need to. It's not going to help this connection, even if you feel like I can't say these things because like what's going on. You have to speak your truth. Adjustments are required, third quarter moon, and the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. So things are coming to the surface, things are coming to light, adjustments are needed. I mean, yeah, we kind of saw all this. It's just echoing the messages, right? I always feel like when full moon cards come out, I feel like saying, do some full moon release, ritualized healing for yourself. I have on my channel a full moon release ritual free thing you could do. In fact, I have two. Maybe look at things like that as a way of like ritualizing and working through these things in a safe space. There's stuff to be released for sure. There's stuff that's going to be released and there's stuff that's going to come to light. Some of it might feel painful. Go with it. Within that, you're going to find the way of reconnecting to each other and reconnecting to your hopes and dreams through each other, which is super beautiful. So I better make a stop now because that's all I have time for. But I hope all of that is helpful and makes sense. I'm going to stop this video in case my computer like suddenly, because I've been doing lots of reading, suddenly gets so full it wipes it out. But I'm going to come straight back to do your other reading, but it will be two different videos, but that's fine. All right, see you soon for the next one.